So, have you guys ever walked into a clothing store and saw a sweater you liked or article of clothing and looked at it and wondered how to make it? Well, my name's Lenette and today I'm going to talk about the art of crochet. First of all, crochet is a type of fabric working that is similar to knitting, but instead of a needle, it uses a hook. And the word crochet derives from the French word for hook. So the earliest known recording of crocheting patterns were printed in 1824, and yet there is a great deal of evidence that shows that women before them used to talk about patterns and share patterns with each other. And some theorizers say that crochet evolved from practices in Iran, South America, or China, but they really don't know because the earliest evidence for crocheting is in the 19th century in Europe. So I'm going to talk about some steps to crochet almost anything. So the first thing you have to do is you have to create a slip knot. So you have to pinch the tail of the yarn between your fingers and you kind of like pull a loop through. There's also another method that you can see on page 3 of the handout that I gave you, where you actually just put the crochet hook through and you wrap the yarn around it and you use the crochet hook to pull it through. So then once it's on the hook, you have to create what's known as a chain. And so on your handout, you also can see, you kind of make a loop again, and you pull that through the slip knot that you just created. And when that happens, it makes an extra piece attached onto that. And you continue doing that, you continue making these loops till you have what's known as your chain. And the number of chains that you create, that becomes the width of your project that you are making. It is very important to have that width established, because if you do not, then your project can kind of come apart and not be the way you want it to be. So then you can make what's known as a slip knot, what's known as a slip stitch on the end of that, and that is also known as the turning step. It's very important to do. That is on page 4, because if you do not do this, then the ends of your project will start moving in wrong directions. It won't be straight. Then after the slip stitch, you make a single crochet, which is where you insert the hook to the chain and you wrap the yarn around that, and then you pull it through and you do it once more. As you can see over here, you pull it through this like little area here. You'll have an opening that you can go through, and you can loop that yarn around the hook this way and pull the hook down, which moves this part of the yarn into that loop, and that creates the single crochet. So once you do that, you keep doing that repetitive maneuver. You keep making the single crochet till you want to bind off, and when you're done with your project, when it's the exact length you want it to be. So to bind off, then you just leave your crochet hook where it's at, and then the added yarn, you cut on this side that's not your project. Do not cut in here, you have a chance of ruining your project. And then when that's done, you'll have this added little strip of yarn. So what do you do with that? You use this thing called a weaver tool, and you put it through the eye of the needle, similar as you would do a sewing needle, and you weave it in your project, in and out. And then, once that's done, you have your finished project, because it's all woven in. So, here are some reasons why crocheting is beneficial. It can help you save you money, because you just have to pay for yarn. And it's one of the things that, if you look at the sweaters or your clothing in the stores, you could be paying about $10 to $20 extra just because a machine made it versus making it yourself. Also, it can be easy handmade gifts. And this can also save you time, because if you're running low and it's somebody's birthday and you forgot to get them a present, you could easily crochet them anything you think they would like in a couple of minutes or a couple of hours, and then you can give them an easy personalized gift. And it can be used to reduce stress. Serotonin, which is a neurotransmitter that controls your mood, it can help with repetitive movement. It will improve your mood and it will improve your sense of calmness while doing this activity. So to summarize, crocheting has a well-extensive history throughout the years, and with a few simple steps, you can make projects for multiple occasions that people love.